everyone. There's a divine rhythm to this universe, one that doesn't always follow our clocks or calendars, and yet that rhythm is never offbeat. Everything you are praying for, working toward, or quietly hoping to manifest, it's not late, it's not lost, it's simply on its way, and it will arrive at the perfect time. You see, we often get caught up in the rush, scrolling, comparing, wondering, why not me? Why not now? But you were never meant to live anyone else's timeline. Your journey is sacredly your own. When you look back, you'll understand why the detours had purpose, why the pauses were preparing you for something far greater than you could see from where you stood. There comes a point in every person's life when it feels like the clock is ticking a little too loudly. You look around and it seems like everyone else is moving faster, achieving more, reaching milestones, while you're just waiting. Waiting for your turn, waiting for something to shift, waiting for that breakthrough you've been working so hard for. And in those moments, it can be so easy to question yourself, to wonder if you're falling behind, if you missed your shot, or if maybe, just maybe, the life you dream about wasn't meant for you after all. But here's the truth that often gets buried under doubt. Your life is not on anyone else's timeline. The path you're walking, no matter how uncertain or winding it may feel right now, is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. There is a timing to your life, a rhythm and flow that you might not fully understand in the moment, but one that is divinely aligned with your purpose. The world has trained us to measure our worth against how quickly we achieve things. We've been conditioned to think that success has an expiration date, or that happiness should arrive according to some invisible schedule. But real life doesn't work that way. Growth doesn't always show itself right away. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Dreams take time to build, not just because of the world around us, but because of what's happening within us. You are becoming. Every setback, every delay, every not yet is not a punishment. It's a preparation. It's life carving you into someone stronger, wiser, more grounded. Sometimes the wait is the very thing that's molding you into the person who can actually hold the blessing when it arrives. Because if you got everything you wanted the moment you wanted it, you might not have the strength, the discipline, or the clarity to keep it. Timing is not just about when things happen, it's about who you are when they do. And while you wait, I want you to remember this. Your value is not defined by how far along you think you should be. It's not determined by your relationship status, your bank account, your job title, or how picture perfect your life looks from the outside. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't make sense right now, even if it hurts. The timing of your life means surrendering to a bigger plan. It means believing that what's meant for you will not pass you by, not because you're lucky, but because it's yours by design. It means holding on when everything in you wants to let go. It means getting up one more time, taking the next step, even if the path ahead is still foggy. And it means honoring the season you're in instead of trying to rush your way out of it. Some seasons are for building, some are for breaking, some are for blooming, and others are for planting seeds so deep in the soil that it might seem like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, there's movement, there's growth, there's becoming. Don't underestimate what's happening in the quiet. Don't despise the season of waiting, because it's in the waiting that your character is shaped and your faith is refined. When you look back on this moment, you'll see it with different eyes. You'll realize that the delay wasn't denial, that the detour was protection, that the silence was actually full of answers, and that the timing was never off, it was just right. Maybe not on your schedule, but perfect for your soul. So keep going. Keep showing up for your life even when it feels slow. Keep believing in what you're building even when no one else can see it. And most importantly, keep trusting the timing of your life, because life has a way of showing up with exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, not a moment too early and never a second too late. There is a quiet kind of suffering that lives inside so many of us, often unspoken, almost invisible but heavy. It's the weight of comparison. It sneaks in through little moments, through casual glances at other people's lives and whispers that we're not enough, that someone else is doing it better, that we've fallen behind, that our efforts don't measure up. And the most dangerous part is that most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. It starts small. A scroll through social media, a comment from a friend, a look at someone else's accomplishments. We don't mean to compare, but we do. We see their highlight reel and stack it up against our behind the scenes. We see the engagement photos, the career wins, the perfect vacations, the polished smiles, and we start to question our own journey. We wonder if we're too late, if we're too far behind, or if we'll ever get it right. But comparison is a thief. It doesn't just steal joy, it robs us of presence, gratitude, and the ability to fully appreciate our own growth. The truth is, everyone is on a different path, moving at a different pace, fighting battles we can't see, carrying dreams they haven't spoken out loud. What you're seeing from the outside is never the full story. People post their victories, not their valleys. They share their milestones, not the sleepless nights, the failures, or the fears they had to walk through to get there. You are comparing your in-progress story to someone else's finished chapter, and it's not fair to your journey. It's like judging a flower in bloom against a seed still under the soil. Both are becoming, both are growing, but only one is visible right now. You were never meant to be a copy of someone else. You were never meant to follow the same timeline or walk the same path. There's no universal clock ticking down your worth. Life doesn't have a schedule for success that applies to everyone. What's right for someone else might not be right for you, and that's okay. You don't need to catch up to anyone. You just need to stay rooted in your own purpose, your own truth. Silencing the noise of comparison means choosing peace over pressure. It means learning to look inward instead of outward. When you measure yourself only by what you see around you, you lose sight of what's already growing within you. Your dreams, your healing, your resilience, those things can't be measured against someone else's journey. They can only be nurtured with patience and care. Think of how much energy is wasted trying to match a life that was never meant to be yours. All the times you felt not enough just because someone else seemed like they had more. All the moments of doubt that could have been moments of joy had you just stayed focused on your own lane. You don't need to be better than anyone else. You just need to be better than the version of you from yesterday. That's it. That's the race. That's the goal. Let this be your reminder that your worth isn't tied to likes, numbers, or recognition. It's not tied to where you live, how fast you reach your goals, or whether your story matches someone else's idea of success. Your worth is intrinsic. It was there before you achieved anything and will remain regardless of what you do. And no one, not one single person can take that from you. The world will keep trying to distract you. It will keep flashing shiny things in your face, keep showing you lives that look perfect, and tempt you to measure your happiness by someone else's standard. But you get to choose what you focus on. You get to choose where your attention goes. And when you choose to silence the noise of comparison, something powerful happens. You start to hear your own voice again. You start to reconnect with your own pace, your own dreams, your own joy. So take a breath. Look at how far you've come, not how far someone else has gone. Celebrate your progress, even if it's quiet, even if no one sees it but you. You're not late, you're not lost, you're not behind, you're exactly where you're meant to be. And the only life you ever need to be better than is the one you were living yesterday. There is a truth that often gets overlooked in a world so focused on instant gratification and overnight success. The most extraordinary opportunities rarely arrive without a long season of unseen preparation. What may look like a lucky break from the outside is often the result of countless hours of quiet work, discipline, resilience, and belief behind the scenes. The real secret is this opportunity means little if you are not ready to receive it. And the readiness, that's what preparation is for. There are moments in life when things shift unexpectedly. A door opens, a person calls, a chance presents itself, and suddenly everything changes. But those moments only turn into transformation if you've already been preparing for them, because when the opportunity comes, it's too late to get ready. You have to be ready. And being ready doesn't just happen. It's the product of showing up day after day, even when there is no spotlight, even when no one is clapping, even when you're unsure if the effort is ever going to pay off. Preparation is lonely sometimes. It's waking up early when there's no reward in sight. It's learning the skills, sharpening the tools, healing the wounds, strengthening the mind, and stretching the soul in silence. It's doing the work without knowing when or if the payoff is coming. And that's where many people give up. Because preparation asks you to believe without proof, to trust the process without a timeline, to invest in a version of your future that hasn't yet shown up. But preparation is never wasted. Every ounce of effort, every small step, every disciplined choice, it all adds up, and it will all matter when your moment arrives. The people who are seen as lucky are usually the ones who were just prepared when their time came. What others call luck is often simply readiness meeting the right timing. And the irony is, the more you prepare, the luckier you seem to get. The truth is, opportunity is always knocking somewhere. The question is, are you in a position to answer? Will you recognize the moment when it comes, or will you miss it because you spent your waiting season complaining instead of growing? Sometimes the opportunity comes disguised as hard work. Sometimes it looks like failure at first. But preparation shapes how you see things. It gives you perspective. It builds in you the character to not only walk through open doors, but to stay there, to thrive there. Opportunity is not the end goal, it's the beginning. It's the starting line for the next chapter. And if you haven't done the internal work to handle what comes with it, you may not be able to hold on to it when it arrives. We live in a culture that praises the breakthrough but doesn't always honor the buildup. But what no one tells you is that your preparation season is sacred. It's where you become. It's where the real magic happens, where you turn raw potential into real power, where you train your mind to believe, your body to move, your heart to trust. No one may see it, and it may not feel glamorous, but it is everything. So don't rush the process. Don't despise the days when it feels like nothing is happening. Those are the days when everything is actually happening, when you're laying the foundation for a future you can't yet see, when you're earning the strength, the wisdom, the emotional intelligence, and the clarity to walk boldly into your next chapter. When the time is right, the preparation season is a gift. It gives you the space to grow in peace, so that when the world finally watches, you're not performing. You're simply rising into what you were already becoming. When preparation meets opportunity, you don't have to force anything. You just step into alignment. It's not about hustling harder or constantly proving your worth. It's about becoming the version of you that naturally attracts and sustains what is meant for you. When you do the inner work, the outer world eventually responds. You don't have to chase your moment. Your moment will find you, but only if you're ready to receive it. So whatever you're working on, keep going. Whatever you're building, keep believing in it. Whatever you're becoming, trust that it's not in vain. The door will open, the call will come, the path will clear, and when it does, you'll smile not because it came easily, but because you'll know deep down you were ready for it all along. There are seasons in life when all you can do is wait. You've planted the seeds, shown up consistently, given your all, and still the answers don't come right away. The results you were hoping for seem to stall. The door you keep knocking on stays closed. It's in these moments, the slow and uncertain ones, that patience and faith are not just nice ideas, they become lifelines. Because sometimes no amount of effort will make things move faster. Sometimes the only thing left to do is trust. Trust in the timing, trust in the process. Trust that what's meant for you is making its way to you, even when you can't see it happening. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you wait. Anyone can be patient when things are easy, but real patience is forged in the waiting rooms of life, where nothing makes sense yet, where the answers are blurry and the future feels far away. It's in those quiet, in-between spaces that patience becomes strength. It teaches you how to breathe without panic, how to sit in stillness without surrendering to despair, and how to believe in the unseen with a heart that refuses to give up. Faith is the companion to patience. While patience is about how long you're willing to wait, faith is about what you believe during the wait. Faith is the light you carry through the dark. It's the steady voice inside that says, keep going, when everything around you is telling you to quit. Faith doesn't require all the details, it just asks for trust. Not blind, naive trust, but the deep soul level knowing that even though you don't have the answers right now, something greater is at work. Something you may not yet understand, but will one day look back on and see with perfect clarity. Together, patience and faith create a powerful force. They hold you steady when the storms come. They keep you grounded when the world feels shaky. They remind you that life is not always about speed, but about depth. It is not always about how fast you can get there, but who you become along the way. Some of the most important growth happens in the waiting. Some of the strongest roots are formed in the silence. Some of the most beautiful transformations occur without anyone watching. There's power in slowing down. There is wisdom in not rushing what needs time. And there is beauty in trusting that even the pauses have a purpose. Patience teaches you that delay is not denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. And faith assures you that what's meant for you will never miss you, not because you chased it, but because you were aligned with it. And alignment comes not through force, but through inner peace, steady belief, and grounded patience. It's not always easy. In fact, it rarely is. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when you question everything, when you wonder if you're wasting your time or holding on to a dream that will never come. But in those moments, remember that some of the best things in life take time. Real love takes time. Deep healing takes time. True purpose takes time. And the most meaningful success is never instant. It's layered, earned, and deeply rooted in the soil of perseverance. Every season has its reason. You may be in a winter right now, but that doesn't mean spring isn't coming. Just because you can't see the growth doesn't mean it's not happening beneath the surface. Keep watering your dreams. Keep tending to your soul. Keep choosing patience over panic and faith over fear. The time will come when all the waiting will make sense. The lessons you're learning now are shaping you for the very thing you're hoping for. And one day, you'll look back and be so thankful that things didn't happen when you thought they should. You'll see how the delay protected you, how the wait prepared you, how the space in between gave you the strength and clarity you didn't even know you needed. You'll realize that what felt like a pause was really a setup for something more meaningful than you imagined. So don't rush your life. Don't curse the timing. Don't lose hope in the waiting. Hold on. Be still when needed. Move with grace when called. And trust, truly trust, that patience and faith are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of deep inner power. Power that will carry you to exactly where you're meant to be, right on time. There is something beautiful happening within you, even if you can't quite see it yet. Even if it feels like everything is slow, uncertain, or stuck, trust this transformation is taking place. Quietly, silently, steadily, you are becoming what you're meant to be. Not all growth makes noise. Not all progress is visible. Sometimes the most profound changes are the ones unfolding beneath the surface, in the stillness, in the struggle, in the moments when you wonder if you're making any progress at all. Because becoming doesn't always look the way we expect it to. It doesn't always feel triumphant or graceful. Sometimes it looks like confusion, like failure, like starting over again and again. And sometimes it feels like wandering through fog without a map, just hoping you're headed in the right direction. And yet every single step, even the ones that don't make sense right now, are guiding you. Every heartbreak, every delay, every challenge you've overcome has been shaping you into the person you're meant to become. You're not lost, you're in the middle of becoming. That space between who you were and who you're becoming can feel uncomfortable, even painful. It asks you to let go of what's no longer serving you, even when you're still unserving yourself. It invites you to trust yourself, even when you feel uncertain. But in that space, you are being refined, molded, strengthened. You're shedding the weight of old versions of yourself so you can step fully into something more aligned, more whole, more real. There is no timeline for becoming. There is no right pace, no single path. We all bloom in our own seasons. Some people find their calling early. Others walk 100 different paths before they find one that feels like home. But none of it is wasted. Every version of you has taught you something. Every experience has contributed to your unfold. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're evolving. And evolution takes time. It takes patience. It takes faith. You have to be willing to show up again and again, even when it feels like nothing is happening. You have to be willing to trust the small steps, the unseen work, the quiet moments of reflection and rest. Because those are the moments that build you. Those are the days that count the most, not because they're loud or noticeable, but because they're the ones that carry you through. Becoming is not about perfection. It's not about arriving at some flawless version of yourself. It's about alignment. It's about stripping away everything that isn't truly you so you can stand fully in your own light. It's about returning to yourself. It's about learning to trust your intuition, to honor your needs, to protect your peace, and to speak your truth with courage. Becoming is about owning your story, not just the highlight reel, but the hard parts too. Because every chapter matters, even the messy ones, especially the messy ones. There is power in becoming, in knowing that you are allowed to grow, to change, to evolve. You're allowed to outgrow people, places, habits, and even versions of yourself that no longer feel true. You are not meant to stay the same. You are meant to rise, to expand, to become, and in doing so, you give others permission to do this. When you choose authenticity over approval, healing over hiding, courage over comfort, you become a light for others who are still finding their way. So don't rush this process. Don't judge your journey. And please, don't compare it to someone else's. You are not them. You were never meant to be. What's meant for you will come. And when it does, you'll understand why you had to take the long way around, why the doors didn't open right away, why you had to grow in ways no one else could see. And in that moment, you will look back and realize you weren't waiting. You are becoming wiser, kinder, braver. You are becoming more rooted in your truth, more confident in your voice, more resilient in your spirit. You are becoming someone who knows how to bend without breaking, how to hope without fear, how to love without losing yourself. You are becoming someone who can stand in the fullness of their own story and say, this is me, and I am proud of who I'm becoming. And that, more than anything, is the quiet triumph of a life well lived. There are times in life when the road ahead is anything but certain. The direction you thought you were heading suddenly disappears. The plans you made fall apart. The clarity you once had fades into confusion. And there you are, standing in the middle of it all, unsure of what to do next. It's a lonely place, a vulnerable place, a place that can easily make you feel like giving up or turning back. But this is the moment that matters most. This is the moment where you must choose, even without answers, even without a visible path to keep walking. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be confident. It doesn't even have to look graceful. All that matters is that you don't stand still in fear. All that matters is that you don't wait for perfect conditions to move forward, because sometimes the path doesn't appear until your feet take the first step. Sometimes clarity comes through movement, not before it. And sometimes you just have to keep going, even if all you have is hope and a little bit of courage left. It's hard. It's hard to walk when your heart is heavy, when the future is foggy, and when nothing seems to be going the way you planned. But that doesn't mean you're lost. It doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're in the part of the journey where the work is internal. The part where you build endurance, resilience, and trust. Because walking without knowing exactly where you're going, that builds something in you that nothing else can. It teaches you to lean into the unknown without letting it paralyze you. It reminds you that you don't have to see the entire staircase, you just need to take the next step. Progress isn't always obvious. It doesn't always come with applause or recognition. Often it looks like showing up on the days when motivation is gone. It looks like holding on when everything inside you is tempted to let go. It looks like trusting your inner compass, even when the outside world doesn't make sense. These moments are not empty, they are sacred, because it's in these moments that you find out what you're really made of. Not when everything is easy, but when it's not and you choose to keep walking anyway. There's a quiet kind of strength in persistence, a strength that doesn't need to announce itself, a strength that simply endures, that says, I may not know where this is leading, but I trust that it's leading somewhere meaningful. And that belief, that's power. That belief is what carries you when your feet feel tired and your heart feels uncertain. That belief is what keeps you aligned with your purpose, even when the path looks nothing like you imagined. You don't need a perfect plan to make progress. You don't need to have all the answers to keep moving. Life is rarely linear. And the most transformative parts of your journey will almost never come with a map, but there will always be signs, a whisper in your heart, a moment of peace, a gut instinct, a flicker of hope. These are your guides. And when you learn to listen to them, to trust them, to walk with them, even when the world around you is unclear, you begin to step into a different kind of power. A quiet confidence that knows that just because the path is unclear doesn't mean it isn't leading somewhere beautiful. So keep walking, even if it's slowly, even if it's with trembling hands and a tired heart, even if you have to stop and cry and gather yourself before you can take another step. That's okay. Movement doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. The important thing is that you don't give up on yourself, that you don't shrink in the face of uncertainty, that you don't let the absence of a clear path convince you to stop walking altogether, because often the most meaningful destinations are the ones we never expected. The ones we stumbled into by simply continuing to move forward, the ones we discovered only because we didn't give up when things got hard. Every step you take, even the uncertain ones, is getting you closer to where you're meant to be. Every moment of courage is writing a story you'll one day be proud to tell. And one day you'll look back and realize that the path did exist all along. You were on it, you just couldn't see it yet. And the reason you arrived was simple: you kept walking.